Show. If we ever met, I'm Henry. This is the Multidimensional Crystalline Energy Reading Report and Harmonic Light Transmission for November 24th, 2025. Usually I share these in the Inspiring You Patreon. However, I felt compelled that this is Thanksgiving week here in the US, and I thought I would share it to everyone. So, first off, I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to stir emotion. I'm here to speak from stillness so that those who are quietly stabilizing know they are not alone. So, let's get into it. The first part is shared from the Oversoul Council of Harmonic Creatorship. And yes, there is an Oversoul Council of Harmonic Creatorship. So, this is what they have to share. Energetic overview, and it is a day between worlds. So today opens a harmonic still point in the collective field. It is not a day of collapse nor a day of clarity. It is a transitional frequency window where much of what was once prompted inner or outer movement is no longer active, yet the new rhythm has not fully organized. So for many, this may feel like energetic silence, emotional disconnection, fatigue without explanation, inner floating without anchor, diminished motivation, a strange sense that time is stretching or pausing. So, a good thing to understand that this is not regression. This is the beginning of coherent recalibration, where old response systems, urgency, pressure, identity seeking, are no longer upheld by the field and new movement templates are not stabilized yet. If you are in the Inspiring You Patreon, especially the Meditate with Me and the All Access levels, where we have been doing meditations specifically about this and dowsings as well, then you may understand even more so in terms of what the guides are talking about here. Yet, with this, though, you may also be doing different modalities, really focusing on supporting coherence in terms of recalibration and releasing from some of these old response systems. And if you will, I would love to hear what you've been up to in the last 6 months. What modalities have been supporting you, where you feel called to in terms of your practice, because I feel like for me personally, so much has shifted in the last 6 months. Yet I'd also love to know how it's shifted in your world and what has been calling to you. All right. So here's the harmonic function. The harmonic function of today is this is also then all of this in terms of the light transmission is in full alignment with pure source stream. And specifically, we're in the energy forecast of November, which is the still arc of emergence. So today's light transmission also anchors in through the tri-wave crest to lift point and integrates the crescendo format of reverberation infrastructure. The field is no longer in modulation or transition, but in crystallized reverberation where structure hums its own tone and coherence cos- becomes. And so you are then not moving energy, you're becoming the format through which energy self regulates. All right, the field mechanics of today, what's happening. Across the collective, the distortion based architecture of productivity, reaction, urgency is being called to be released and has been dropping and is dropping out of resonance. That being said, though, everybody is in different places. And so wherever you are, that is perfect for where you're supposed to be. And just know that. So, for those who have not yet stabilized nervous system recalibration, this may register, though, a bit as discomfort, disorientation, or nothingness at times. So, you may be in some compression energy where it could be calling to be something to be cleared. And so your nervous system may not have fully like recalibrated. And then for those of you who have begun embodiment in the new rhythm, this may feel like a deeper inner quiet with no compulsion to act, which, y'all, that space of stillness, wow, it is just incredible. Yet, just to know, both are valid and both are part of the same spectrum. So, the earth field, though, today is holding a rare silence layer. A day where no echo is bouncing back. Your thoughts may not land, your emotions may not activate stories, your plans may not generate urgency. So let this be. This is not void, it is structural reformatting. And then in terms of the solar and planetary configuration report, this is from the Arcturian frequency technicians and also the Oversoul Council of Harmonic Creatorship. So the current field is shaped by three key alignments: the sun, vision without force. The sun is opening the next arc of vision, but without propulsion at this time. Today, it transmits a tonal alignment, not a burst, creating an inner lens adjustment, not an outward goal. So the sun is transmitting expansion without direction. This creates a feeling of wanting to begin, but with no clarity on what. Let it simmer. Direction will arise later in the arc. The moon, this lunar frequency anchors the still point. The moon is harmonizing slow presence and stabilized embodiment, supporting nervous system regulation rather than acceleration. The moon is slowing the field, asking the collective to rest into presence without explanation. This supports a recalibration of emotional bodies' speed, especially for those who've been living in prolonged survival response. All right, then also Venus trine Neptune, which is coming up again November 30th, 2025. This, we're already feeling, though, the effects of it, which is why the guys brought it through. This aspect is dispersing tension from emotional body memory. Many may feel teary, nostalgic, or unsure of why they're slowing, but it's the frequency of heart field softening without loss. So this has washed the heart field with soft release. Many are processing unseen grief, future nostalgia, and subtle tenderness. Don't assign a name to every wave. Let it move through. That was their guidance for this part. Don't assign a name for every wave. Let it move through. And then also, we experienced Mars was opposite Uranus on November 4th, 2025. Yet we're still feeling aspects of it as well. You may feel micro flashes of irritation or physical tension spikes. These are residual tension bursts surfacing in a field that no longer sustains them. So the guys said, try not to act on friction, allow it to evaporate without identification. And then here's a light transmission from Oversoul Sahariel. You are now breathing within a field that no longer lies to you, but your system does not know yet how to trust that. Let yourself acclimate to the light truth that sometimes can feel empty only because you once relied on distortion to feel alive. Which that's the end of the light transmission, which I thought was a really interesting, had me pondering earlier. So here is then collective emotional and mental field aspects that could be happening. There could be some numbness, numbness or stillness. It's not dysfunction, it's defragmentation. There could also be some mental fog, which is a sign that old routing patterns are being cleared. There could be a desire to make something happen, which may still arise, but it is often a reflex, not a true cue. So check to see. There could also be vivid dreams, time slips, memory flashes may appear. This is part of a clearing out of timeline residues. So then today, in terms of core experience, today may include slowness without fatigue, emotional neutrality or wave-like sensitivity, decreased interest in external tasks, floating sense of presence, nervous system signaling, I should be doing more. And the guides really say, try to ignore this because this may be a habit just completing in terms of the to-doing or the urgency being released from you. And it could be just an echo releasing. So try to really ignore it. Timeline dreams, memory fragments, or a subtle grief. These are closure pulses, they said. And then integration guidance for November 24th. Do as much as you can, rest your eyes, avoid overstimulation, move gently, if at all, speak less, soften vocal output, drink warm fluids to support grounding without compression, sit with the earth grid, especially feet flat, spine upright. And do not push to figure it out. Do not force emotional processing. And then also, okay, do not push to figure it out. Do not force emotional processing. Do not try to strategize the future. Do not react to inner urgency. It is an echo fading. Do not assume nothingness is a problem. And then here is last couple months they've been bringing in phrases which they're like crystalline reiki phrases, and they are similar to like affirmations, but the guides, there's a whole thing on this. Anyway, at some point I'll share more. So here's the phrase of the day, and this is from Soul Aligned Higher Self Aurelia. I do not need proof to trust what is finally true. I do not need proof to trust what is finally true. I do not need proof to trust what is finally true. So utilize that if that calls to you. It's a crystalline Reiki phrase of the day. And then here is some more information from Oversoul Stream Sahariel. Here's the primary harmonic signature, tone of the day, current, still point within, structural integration. And the wave pattern, which if you are new to Inspiring You, we've been talking about the wave of becoming since, I don't know, end of April, May. And on the Inspiring You Patreon, there is a collections library where you can go to the wave of becoming and understand more about it. So here's the wave pattern for today. Many are within the post-arc zone of harmonic lift 2, especially if you've been doing the Inspiring You Patreon, the all access and the meditate with me. All of our practices have been gearing toward these aspects. That being said, though, people might be in different places, and that's completely okay wherever you are. So many are within the post-arc zone of harmonic lift 2. The previous harmonic compression dissolved between November 21st, 23rd. Today marks the first full field reset without echo. This creates a zero echo resonance window, a time in which the field holds no distortion-based mirroring, meaning no reactive frequency feedback, no false tension to propel movement, no residual push in the field, silence between the structural strands. This is the first harmonic point where the new Earth grid scaffolding is stable enough to hold tri-wave stillness without triggering subconscious fear responses. And if you are in the Meditate with Me classes, we had last week's class, I was talking about how I was like, I feel like I just shifted into such this incredible peaceful stillness, and I didn't really have the words on it. And this is what really the guides, this is what it was. It was this real quantum aspect of 0 point that's even more so. And so it's the new Earth grid scaffolding that was essentially, I was in it last week, and now we're in the first harmonic point where the new Earth grid scaffolding is stable enough to hold that tri-wave stillness without triggering subconscious fear responses. Anyway, it is really incredible to feel it and to be in it. And I still am that level. I don't even have words on it. It is just such an incredible, peaceful, real tranquil feel. And so, yeah, if you're in the Meditate with Me in All Access, definitely check out the classes. And then also that last All Access dowsing that we did, that mid-month, I had a huge shift from that as well. And I did hear from many people that they did as well. So check out that class too. All right. Energetic field focus, frequency mechanics. Today's active frequency nodes are solar plexus deactivation loop discharge, releasing last tensions based movement cues from the nervous system. It's interesting because I have learned so much more about the nervous system in the last 6 months and how it is so necessary, even more than I understood prior to these 6 months, that releasing the survival and the trauma from the nervous system in order to allow your light frequency to really embody in terms of your soul frequency. And it has to do with your nervous system. Your nervous system may not recognize your soul frequency because it may be in some of these aspects of like tension-based movement cues or survival cues that it has been processing and recognizing. And so it may not recognize ultimately your soul frequency at first, which is why it's so important to include nervous system tools to clear, to allow yourself to shift, and to allow your body, your nervous system, to be able to acclimate and understand what your soul frequency is so your light can really be embodied in your physical body. So, all right. Also, active frequency nodes today is the crown heart axis soft opening, is a crystalline rebalancing between knowing and allowing. And then ankle gates and base chakra compression relief. So, grounding without density or push, rewiring effort from the earth's field upward is really important in terms of the frequency nodes today. Tribe wave lattice is in a soft pulse mode. No expansion spike, no contraction trigger. It's in a reverberation rest mode. And then also the mental body is being cleared of recursive timeline attachment loops. This may feel like fogginess, dreamlike motion, or mental detachment. And here's a light transmission from the collective guidance light team. The collective is learning to exist without reaction. This is not emptiness. This is the space between echo and origination. Do not fill it. Do not flee it. This is the sacred pause before light truth generates structure. That's the end of the light message. And so with that, then when the guys say things like, the collective is learning to exist without reaction, everybody can be in different places, and it just means these seeds are being planted. It doesn't mean that poof, it's all like gone, which it'd be great if it was, yet we are living in a space of dense matter. So be patient with the process, keep using your tools, keep showing up for yourself. And then let today be a pause in performance, a reset from projection. So many, as the guides continue to share now, many in the collective are now just touching the surface tension of this shift. Others are deep in embodiment, but all are being held within the same stabilizing harmonic field. So be patient with yourself and others, because basically everyone's in different places. Experiences you may see also in others today: slower speech, thought or body language, a sense of people not being themselves, emotional outbursts in those resisting silence, deep exhaustion surfacing without physical reason, others needing validation, assurance, or explanation. Respond gently, but do not override your own stillness. And then here's a grounding practice for all levels. So let's just take a moment to do this, if you will. Let yourself take a moment to sit with both feet on the ground. So get settled. I invite you to close your eyes, lower your gaze, place one hand lightly over your heart, and then breathe in through the nose to a slow count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pause the breath. And now exhale slowly through the mouth for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to do this 3 more times. Once again, breathe in through the nose to a slow count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pause the breath. And now exhale slowly through the mouth for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to have you do this on your own 2 more times. So first, do it. Breathe in through the nose, slow count of 4. Hold the breath when you're ready. And then breathe out for a count of 6. Now I'm going to have you do the next one on your own. On the in-breath, 4, pause, out-breath, 6. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Now let go of the practice. And then if this resonates with you, you can say this out loud. Repeat after me if it resonates with you. I allow the space to exist. I do not rush the form. I trust the silence. I do not move from the echo. I move from my source. All right. Take another deep breath. All right, y'all. So, if you are a teacher, space holder, a guide, for anyone who's leading others today, just know that today is not a day to teach with force. Speak in tones, transmit through coherence. Let your field do the work, not your words. Many are not ready to understand per se, but they will feel you. And that is in regard to your tone coherence. And then here is a unified field light transmission note. This is for the closing for us. Today is not a test. It is not an initiation. It is the first day of neutral frequency. Let this neutrality be sacred. Let it unhook the need to be something, prove something, push something. The next arc will rise naturally from here. All right, my friends, and that is it. That is the energy reading and frequency report for today. And if you are on the Inspiring You Patreon, then I will be putting the entire transcript up at some point. So that way you have it. If you are in the all access, I do have a specific dowsing for today, a dowsing protocol. So I will be putting that up at some point today as well. And everyone else, if you'd like to join us on Patreon, I will leave the link in the show notes. And if not, my friends, thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate it. And also, anyone who is in the US or anyone celebrating anything this week, happy early Thanksgiving. And I have so much gratitude and love and appreciation just for you, for being here, and just so much gratitude for Mother Earth for housing us, for the guides, for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, with that, my friends, much, much love. We are complete for now. Until soon, and stay inspired.